Perek Ayin Dal, the 74th chapter of the book of Tehillim, again begins with Asaph. Maskil la Asaph. We mentioned yesterday, Asaph, a sweet singer of Israel, but it's probably not just one Levi named Asaph. It's a whole family, whole group of people who maybe with genetics, maybe that they have the similar talents of and were described this way. So Maskil la Asaph. Lama Elohim zanachta lanetzach. Yeshan apcha bitzon maritecha. God, why do you reject us forever? Why do you fume in anger at the flock that you tend? Yesterday, question that Asaph, or of the Asaph Guild asked, why do bad things happen to good people? Went to the temple, had some sort of experience, epiphany, and understood a little bit better that God's plan is beyond, and that the wicked would perish in time, etc., etc. But today starts in a similar place. You've chosen us. We're supposed to be your people. You're supposed to protect us. But that's not what happened. You seem to be angry at us. Zechor adatcha kanita kedem gaalta shevet nachlatecha har tzion zeh shachanta bo. Remember the community you made yours long ago, right? Your own shevet, your own tribe. Remember Zion, Mount Zion, where you dwell. So is this while Bnei Israel are still in Israel? Is this something that was written afterwards? God still dwells there, but we've been exiled, or God is still there and we're under attack, whether it be during the time of Sancheiriv with Chizkiyahu and others. We have Asaph's name mentioned also at the time of Chizkiyahu. Harimu pe'amecha lemasuot netzach kol heira oyev bakodesh. So stir yourself up, because there's constant trouble. All of the enemies, all their evil are happening even in the sanctuary. Sha'agu tzorerecha bekerev moadecha samu ototam otot. Your enemies, they roar. The sha'ag is oftentimes used. We've had to use it before in terms of a lion. A lion is sho'eg. They roar inside your meeting place, right? Your place, the temple. They take signs. They take their signs instead of your signs. They see that you are seemingly removed, not paying attention, not doing anything, and they are therefore on the rise, on the march. We're in verse 5, Pasukei Yivada Kemevi Lema'ala B'Svach Eitz Kar Dumot. They're like men with axes smashing down a tree. Va'ata pitucheha yachad b'chashil v'chei, lapot yahalomun. And in addition to the axe, they have all sorts of other tools and instruments, hatchets and pikes, and they're hacking away. Shilchu va'esh mikdashecha la'aretz chilalu mishkan shemecha. They made your sanctuary go up in flames. They brought low in honor the dwelling place of your presence. And so obviously for some, this is an indication that this is a passage that was written, this piece of Tehillim was written later. Kind of like we'll see later when we have Al Naharot Bavel. On the rivers of Babylon, we are weeping and crying. You could say that this is also referring to the Mishkan in Shiloh, which was destroyed by the Philistines, if you want to have this passage not be that late in terms of its timing. Continuing in verse 8, Pasuk Chet, Amru v'libam ninam yachad, sarfu chol moadei el ba'aretz. What did they say? Let us come together, let us destroy them. We're going to do it together. And what do? They burn all of God's tabernacles, all of God's holy places. O totenu lo ra'inu, ein od naviv, lo itani odea adma. No signs appear for us. They saw their signs. They saw their chance. They saw their opportunity, and they went for it, and destruction occurred. We don't see anything from God. We haven't heard anything from you. There's no longer a prophet with us. We don't know what to do. How long is it going to be that we are going to have to struggle in this way? Ad matai Elohim yecharef tzar yinaetz oyev shimcha lanetzach. So until when, God? How long is our enemy going to be choref, going to be to blaspheme, going to curse? When will, right, the enemy, is it going to happen forever? Is your name going to be forever destroyed? There's a company in Israel. We saw the words earlier in the book of Shmuel, I believe, idea Nili, Netzach Yisrael lo yishaker, that the Israel will last forever. It's la Netzach. We won't give up. And here, what are we saying? We're saying just the opposite in the psalm. How long will these people continue to attack you, continue to blaspheme you? How long will that happen? It seems like it's lasting forever. Continue verse 11. Why do you hold your hand back, your right hand? Draw it out of your bosom. Draw it out from your shirt. Use that yad yeminecha, that strong right hand, that yad chazakah, like you did in Egypt, right? Why are you holding back, God? Look at all the destruction that's happened. Ve'Elohim malkimi kedem poel yishot bekerev aretz. God, my king, the God of old from Kedem, who brings deliverance throughout the land. We know that you have the ability to do so. So why are you holding back? Ata. We're in verse 13, pasuk Yud Gimel. Forarta be'azcha yam, shibarta rashay taninim alamayim. You drove back the sea with your might, smashed the heads of monsters in the water. So this seemingly doesn't refer, I guess you could read it in some way to be referred to like Kriyat Yam Suf, but right, if you say Taninim, a Tanin was in the when Moshe turned his staff into a snake, and then Pharaoh's Chartumim, the word, it wasn't the most common, the usual word for a snake in the Torah. It's not the word nachash, like the snake in the Garden of Eden. It's the word tanin, which some say is more of a crocodile than a snake. So you could say that this refers to that. It refers to Egypt, or you could go back further. You could say that this is sort of this mythical idea about the creation of the world, that God at that time, right, drove the sea back and allowed the land to take place. Continuing, Ata in 14, Ritzatzta Roshei Leviathan Titnenu Ma'achal La'am Litziyim. It was you who crushed the head of the Leviathan, who left him as food for your nation in the desert. So you could read this as Pharaoh, as is the Leviathan, or you could read it again, going back deeper into history. The idea of it being in the desert does lead credence to the idea that it's Mitzrayim, because of course then the Jews would be in the desert. Ata vakata ma'ayan v'nachal ata hovashta naharot eitan. It was you who released springs and torrents, who made mighty rivers run dry. Lecha yom af lecha laila ata hachinota ma'or vashemesh. The day is yours, the night as well. It was you who set the place of the sun and the moon, right? You're the one who decided how the Shemesh is going to be. So again, if you want to read this in this more national level of the Jews, then you take it as day being idea of redemption, and night be a time of difficulty and darkness, and that's what it's referred to you. So God, you're the one who placed the sun there. You're the one who saved us. You're the one who took us out of Egypt. You're the one who stopped the Tanin, and etc., etc. You fixed all the boundaries of the earth, summer and winter. You made them. You're in control of everything, God. 18, Pasuk Yud Chet, Zechor zot oyev cheref Adonai, ve'am naval niatzu shemecha. So, God, now that we've shown that you're all powerful, you created the world, you've done redemptions in the past, you have power of everything, you have power over all of these incredible forces of nature, much more powerful than humans. So be mindful, pay attention to your blasphemous enemy, right? How these terrible people embarrass your name. Al titein lechayat nefesh torecha, chayat oniyecha al tishkach lanetzach. Don't deliver your dove, right? Your tor, the peaceful dove, to the wild beast, to the chaya. Don't ignore forever your lowly people, your oniyecha, right? The ani. Don't forget us. Habeit in verse 20, pasuk chaf, labrit. Look, pay attention to the brit, to the covenant. Ki mal'u machashakei eretz naot chamas, because the dark places in land are full of Hamas, they're full of lawlessness and terror and horror. And God, it's time. You are the one who placed the sun there. It's time to illuminate those places. Al Yashov, we're in verse 21, Pasuk Chaf Aleph, Dach Nichlam, Aniva Evyon Yehalalu Shemecha. Don't let those who have been, who are on the bottom, the downtrodden, don't turn them away disappointed. Let the poor and needy praise your name. And why would they praise God's name? Only if God redeems them. Kuma Elohim riva rivecha. Zechor cherpatcha mini naval kol hayom. Rise up, God. And fight your fight. Pay attention. Zechor, pay attention. Remember to those who are blaspheming you, those evil people who are doing it kol hayom, all of the day. And what did we say moments ago? God, night and darkness and day and night, darkness and light. God is in charge. God is the one who made everything. And we want light. They're the ones who are in light. They're the ones who are enjoying life. They're the ones who things seem good for, going back to previous chapters as well. Yesterday's chapter, the ignorant fraudster who doesn't pay attention and doesn't worry about anything. Here they have kol hayom. We're supposed to have kol hayom. Al tishkach kol tzorerecha she'on kamecha oleh tamid. Don't ignore the shouts of your enemies, the din of your adversaries, that all the time is oleh tamid, that all the time is ascending. Of course, reading those last two words, it's impossible to not think of it in terms of the karbanot every day, right? What is supposed to go up to God are the karbanot, karban olah, karban tamid. Every day, the daily sacrifice, morning and afternoon, the olah fully burned on the altar to bring joy to God. Those things are not going up. Your temple has been destroyed. What is going up to you, God, are these vicious words of the enemies, their vicious might, their terrible behavior. And so here we have a chapter where Asaph is lamenting the events that has happened to the Jews. And we know, sadly, that it's not the end of that. That when he authored this a few thousand years ago, it has unfortunately continued for millennia. And so it's this question: God, reappear, come back. We know you have the power, and we're awaiting for you to come back and to honor yourself and honor us and protect us. Lama la netzach tishkachenu, right? Why do we have to wait for you forever? God, come back so that Netzach Yisrael lo yishaker, so that we and you will remain alive and well, and our people will be secure and supported.